We've been assigned to debate whether or not the federal government should take a more active role in dealing with income inequality, and we are arguing pro. My name is Brian Knold.
And I'm Sierra Jorgensen. So first off, we're just going to start with kind of giving you guys a little bit of a definition of what income inequality is. So income inequality is how unevenly income is distributed throughout a population. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to discuss some issues that arise due to income inequality. The first one that I'll be discussing is mental health. As a result of income inequality, it creates unwanted stress, mistrust, and unhappiness for those dealing with it. Income inequality creates stress and unhappiness because low-income residents of the United States, who make up 29% of the nation, are constantly worrying about how they'll get by. Alongside stress, income inequality creates a problem of mistrust between people. It has been shown that Americans trusted other people less and perceived other people to be less fair in years with more national income inequality than in years with less national income inequality. So this study just shows that when there's less income inequality, more trust is involved, and then it helps mental health of people. Mistrust can also lead to confusion, anxiety, and anger, which also leads to an increase in mental health issues, as well as that stress that can increase the mental health issues as well. Findings also indicate that happiness is contingent both on people's state of mental health and the extent of which they participate in social interactions with others. So because of low income inequality, they're not able to do the things that they love and the things that can get them out to socialize with others. So that creates a sense of unhappiness that will then affect mental health.
Mm-hmm. And then another issue is we've, through our nation's history, especially recently, we've seen the gap in income inequality grow larger and larger. And the federal government has tried to deal with this numerous ways regarding citizens' income. For example, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, the American government has the responsibility and role to collect taxes and regulate commerce. And the American government has tried to make the nation's economy secure for investors, despite situations that America has been forced to face, such as the Great Recession and the Great Depression. America's bounced back and grown more than ever. And we as Americans have to continue to rely on the government to recuperate and rebuild the economy just as it has done so in the past.
Another issue that comes from income inequality is that it strongly affects the economy. Income inequality creates reduced social capital, reduced trust, and reduced community support, which can harm and hinder the economy. If an economy is filled with distrust and lies, then less work and changes can be done. And a strong economy helps not only the nation to grow and prosper, but it also helps its citizens to receive more opportunities and resources as well. So if we're able to decrease the income inequality, then we can help the economy to grow and improve, as well as the citizens in the economy will overall be able to have a better life.
Mm-hmm. And then building off what she was saying about the economy, markets generally tend to fail to take into account consequences and are likely to underproduce public goods, and government can subsidize or provide public goods for the public. In a free market, inequality can be prominent not through ability but through monopoly power. And without government intervention, firms can exploit monopoly power to pay low wages to workers, charge high prices to consumers or customers. And without government intervention, we are liable to see the growth of monopoly power, and government intervention can regulate monopolies and promote competition.
Another effect that we see, or issue that we see from income inequality, is that it actually really harms our overall population health. Studies have shown that and are consistent with income inequality as a proximate or conditional cause of lower population health. Having income inequality affects the access some may have to health insurances or hospital bills, which harms the overall health of the population, because they don't have the money to pay for the things that they need when they get sick, so they just kind of deal with it, and they can progressively get worse, and so the health just declines. If there was a more equal income distribution, then more people would be able to pay and access better insurance and resources, and therefore the population health would increase rather than decline.
Mm-hmm. And then something government can do to kind of tackle the income inequality is redistribute equality. And something like that would be greater equality. And that refers to the ethical obligation to redistribute income and wealth to improve equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. Government can take a stronger, more present role in dealing with income inequality by overcoming market failures.
another really important issue that comes from income inequality is access and education, access to education. So as a result of income inequality, it leads to higher tuition costs and financial aid issues, while also creating issues with access and affordability. Those who have high incomes can pay for better education, which then helps them attain better jobs in the long run, whereas those with middle or lower incomes face more challenges when it comes to paying for furthering their education because they don't have the money or the resources provided. Sometimes they go into a lot of debt, which then makes them have a further struggle in the future because they're still dealing with the never-ending bills and all of those things. Many have suggested that it's not that it's actually the school's responsibility to fix the issues regarding tuition costs and accessibility to help the middle and lower class and their incomes, but this is actually not accurate. If they did this, they would struggle to provide the resources that they need, such as professors and books and all of these things to help those students gain a higher education. So they can't actually help lower the tuition because they need that money to help provide that higher education that they need. The government is in the best position to address rising income inequality directly, because if they did that, it would alleviate some of the pressures facing colleges and universities, and so that they would have less stress and they'd be able to still provide the high education and the good quality education that they need without stressing about the money to pay for the resources.
Mm-hmm. And then bouncing back to monopolies, we see that monopolies are able to and will further continue to exploit the wage gap and income inequality to take advantage of the markets. Markets and businesses have gone without checks from the government, and bureaucracy can lead to market failures, economic crashes, and recessions, which is why the government should take a more active role in the matter. And then it also weakens society. So like what she was talking about with education, income inequality creates reduced social capital and reduced community support, and this can harm or hinder the economy. Heightened income inequality with society has been linked to outcomes including reduced social capital, trust, community support, higher rates of mortality, and high rates of violent crimes.
So we've talked a lot about the issues. We're just going to finish off with talking about what the government can do. All of these things are negative side effects that come from income inequality, and it shows that the government really needs to take action. So some things that it can do is it can raise taxes. By raising taxes, it can use that money to help pay those lower income people. It can also minimize it can also minimize inequality in general between citizens, which can help decrease a lot of the issues that we were talking about earlier in this video.
Mm-hmm. Also, raising minimum wages. Minimum wage jobs are kind of handed to people who are on the lower spectrum of the wage gap, and raising that would help them climb out of that hole. And then regulate labor markets would also be great for countering the income inequality.
Sweet. Thanks for watching.